With the definitive fall of Napoleon and King Charles X's controversial return to France in 1826, the Parisian court was anxious to reaffirm the French monarch's authority by supporting artists whose works would promote the spirit of the Restoration. One artist caught the immediate attention of conservative nobles and intellectuals, Fèlicie de Fauveau, the 26-year-old daughter of financier Alexandre François and amateur painter Anne de la Pierre. Originally trained as a painter, the woman of high-ranking birth and ultra-legitimist views debuted as a sculptor in 1827 with 2 works at the Paris Salon. The Abbot was inspired by Sir Walter Scott's recent novel, while her bas relief, Queen Christine of Sweden refusing to spare the life of her equerry Monaldeschi, would prompt Stendhal to hail de Fauveau as a new Canova. De Fauveau earned the gold medal for the work, presented to her by Charles X himself. The artist's sculptural entourage of self-sacrificing royals and armed saints found inspiration in the medievalism movement, which asserted monarchical government to be an expression of divine will. In de Fauveau, Charles X had found a creative ally. During her sojourn in Paris from 1826 to 1830, de Fauveau established her own studio at number 18, Rue de la Rochefoucauld, and was accepted to the capital's most prestigious salons. In 1829, she was granted an annual stipend from the Academy of Fine Arts in Paris, a noteworthy feat for a female sculptor who had discovered her vocation while on a walk past a workshop where craftsmen produced religious images for local churches. It was there that she learned the rudiments of her trade. De Fauveau received multiple commissions during her Parisian period, albeit many of these works were never completed. In 1830, the winds of history changed, forever modifying the artist's destiny. When the July Revolution forced the sovereign to relinquish his crown to his rival, the Duc d'Orléans, de Fauveau abandoned her art for political activism. She stayed in France to conspire against the new king, risking her life and exhausting her fortune to support popular uprisings. Instigated by the high-spirited Marie Caroline, Duchess of Berry, for whom the artist fashioned a gold pectoral in 1831. The Duchess coveted the crown for her own underage son, the Count of Chambord, Charles X's legitimate heir. De Fauveau organized resistance efforts in the Vendée, where she was hailed by the peasantry as La Demoiselle, becoming an iconic figure in printed propaganda and poetic verses. Flanked by her friend, Countess de la Rochefoucauld, de Fauveau rallied support for the Vendée uprising. The Vendée rebellions met with crushing defeat. After a 6-month prison sentence, 2 unsuccessful revolts, and the definitive downfall of the Duchess of Berry, de Fauveau chose voluntary exile in Florence, not far from her native Livorno. She was welcomed to Florence by Francophile Tuscan sculptor Lorenzo Bartolini, who is thought to have offered her hospitality in one of his Sanfrediano studios. A contemporary biographer summarized their meeting of the minds in a simple but telltale way. It was Greek art meeting art of the Renaissance. The year was 1833, and Florence was a relatively tranquil center for art and commerce under the leadership of Grand Duke Leopoldo II of the House of Lorraine. Prestigious personalities living in the Grand Duchy promptly cultivated the artist's friendship. Carolina Murat, Napoleon's sister and the Queen of Naples, Italian opera singer Angelica Catalani, and English poets Robert and Elizabeth Browning were fascinated by de Fauveau's notable skills and eccentric temperament. Her headdress was similar to the velvet toque worn by Raphael. She had sworn to keep her hair cropped until she could return to Paris. That day would never arrive. De Fauveau's zeal for absolutist government appealed to Florence's Russian community, prompting commissions from Anatole Demidov, Tsar Nicholas I, and his wife, Alexandra Feodorovna. For Maria Nikolaeva, the Tsar's daughter, the artist designed an elaborate dagger, now at the Louvre, depicting scenes from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. De Fauveau gained several lucrative commissions for sepulchral art throughout the Italian peninsula. Her high-ranking extended family had withdrawn their economic support, considering a woman's desire for four-pay commissions a punishable act of insolent pride. De Fauveau had responded to such accusations with fiery conviction. "Give up my dignity," the artist had exclaimed. "Know that an artist such as I am is a gentleman." With Benvenuto Cellini as her prototype, De Fauveau purchased a home studio in the ex-convent of Santa Elisabetta delle Convertite in Via dei Seragli, which became a mecca for grand tour travelers. In her medieval-style bottega oratory, she lived as a vestal of Christian art and as a precursor to the pre-Raphaelites. She was deeply influenced by chivalric iconography, weaponry, and heraldry. With her multiple assistants, she worked bronze, gold, marble, terracotta, wood, and glass, achieving a unity of the applied arts that anticipated the English arts and crafts movement by several decades. The fact that De Fauveau was a forerunner is demonstrated by her 1836 monument to Dante, which prefigured Auguste Rodin's Doors of Hell. Today, only the segment depicting Paolo and Francesca Rimini survives. De Fauveau's many Florentine works include an ornate neo-Gothic holy fountain at the Pitti Palace and the monumental tombs of Sir Charles Leon Herbert and Lady Harriet Frances Pellew at the English Cemetery in Piazzale Donatello. In 2012 and 2013, two of the artist's most renowned works were at the center of a restoration and maintenance project, sponsored by the Advancing Women Artists Foundation. De Fauveau's burial monument to her mother, Madame Anne de Fauveau, in the Church of Santa Maria del Carmine, and a marble tomb commemorating West Indian poet Louise de Favreau in the courtyard of the Church of Santa Croce, which is considered the artist's crowning achievement.